Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our virtual Backstage tour at Charles Bronfman Auditorium, the Lowy Concert Hall. To enjoy the tour, please keep your phone and computer absolutely on. We wish you a wonderful experience behind the scenes and hope to see you in person soon.
Hello, my name is Sharon Cohen, and I'm a violinist with the IPO since 2012. It is my greatest pleasure to welcome you, along with my close friend Asaf Maoz, to our second home, the Charles Bronfman Auditorium.
Sharon and I go way back. We've known each other for almost all our lives. We've been playing together for so many years. Sharon plays in the first violin section, and I play in the second violin section. Although it doesn't mean that one is better than the other, not that we're competitive. I'm happy to introduce Igal Meltzer, our friend and colleague, the principal trumpet player of the IPO, who's been around these corridors far longer than us.
Yes, years do have their advantages. And over my years with the IPO, I've had the great fortune to play under legendary conductors such as Wolfgang Sawallisch, Sir Georg Scholti, Lorin Maazel, and hundreds of concerts with the one and only Zubin Mehta. Together, we'll take you on a journey backstage and explore the behind the scenes of this unique auditorium.
It is such a pleasure to take you now to the lesser seen parts of this auditorium, which is an architectural gem dating all the way back to 1957 and built in the Bauhaus style. It is one of the most important works in the history of Israeli architecture and an amazing representation of the extraordinary spirit that led to the construction of such a large auditorium housing nearly 3,000 people before the state was even 10 years old. The building was recently renewed, adhering to the strict principles of preservation while meeting the great challenge of making it a world-class venue without altering the exterior of the building and its original design. We chose to begin here with this iconic mosaic brought to the auditorium from the IPO guest house. Here you can see the old symbol of the orchestra, which brings together musical, Jewish, and Hebrew elements. A tuning fork, the letter Pei, which stands for Philharmonic in Hebrew, and the main element, which looks like a menorah, but if you study it closely, you will see that it has 10 candle holders depicting 2 musical staves. This special symbol, which you all know, became the IPO logo that has recently been beautifully renewed and updated.
Behind me, you can see the most important wall in the hall. A wall which encapsulates and unites the past and the present. Here is the listing of the musicians who performed in the orchestra's first concert in 1936, all of whom were personally auditioned by Bronislaw Huberman, who stepped back from his immensely successful career to create a symphony orchestra in Palestine. Huberman assembled 75 Jewish musicians, brought them here together with their families, and practically saved their lives from the Holocaust.
Here we see the name of Heinrich Haftel, the orchestra's first concertmaster who came from Vienna and was the one to invite Zubin Mehta to Israel to conduct the orchestra early in 1961. And Jacob Sorowicz, originally from Warsaw, who helped Huberman when the IPO was merely a vision by hosting auditions at his home. Jacob then immigrated to Palestine and became a founding member of the Israel Philharmonic. Years later, Jacob's son-in-law, Dr. Leo Vole, joined the orchestra to be followed by his son, Gabi, who, like his father, played the double bass.
And this brings us to the other side of this unique wall, which presents photos of our current IPO members and of course of our newly appointed musical director, the exceptional Lahav Shani. We look forward to many years of exciting music making together under his leadership. I'm sure Huberman would be so proud to know that there are so many superb Sabros musicians in his orchestra today, and its music director is a young Israeli making a huge international career.
The orchestra is comprised of 105 musicians. We play 70 concerts a year here at home in Tel Aviv and 30 more in Jerusalem and Haifa. During a normal season, we travel all around the globe, up to 3 months a year. We really miss those times, although we cherish this wonderful time we get to spend with our families.
These cases are used to transport our instruments. You know, when we travel, the cargo weighs almost 5 tons. That's a full trailer. We even have cases for our concert attire. As you probably imagine, traveling with so much cargo is going to cause drama and unique stories at Customs and Border Control. But I'll leave that to your imagination.
This backstage area is the passageway between off and on stage, between self and audience, just steps from the spotlight. This is where the magic begins.
We will now go underground to explore the thousands of square meters that were excavated as part of the renovation. In this amazing underground space, we have storage rooms, our musicians' rooms, offices, and the cellar lounge for the orchestra's friends and much more. A good library is the heart of any orchestra. And this library, which contains over 2,000 musical pieces, is definitely the heart of the IPO. We still have pieces here with the original stamp of the Palestine Orchestra. As we play almost 600 pieces a year, we rely on our devoted librarians to mark the scores and the parts after receiving requests and comments from the conductors.
And here are the archives, which hold over 8 decades of musical heritage, from letters, concert programs, concert posters, and the Mary Katz photo archives. All these tell the story of the Jewish people in the modern world through a musical prism, and one can literally spend countless hours immersed in monumental musical and historic nostalgia. Here one can find telegrams from Bronislaw Huberman to Albert Einstein, concert programs of every concert this orchestra has ever performed, photos of unforgettable moments, and posters advertising our concerts in Israel and throughout the world. You're invited to make a special stop here, once possible.
We spent so many hours in the hall, practicing, rehearsing, performing, teaching future generations, and we really need a place where we can just relax. This little area here, which we call the green room, is a place where we can relax between rehearsals or before concerts. Sometimes we meet here as a community. We've even thrown a few parties here. We're very happy about the fact that we've succeeded in creating a working environment based on friendship and community. And we really believe that that reflects in our music making.
Welcome to the Zucker Hall. It was inaugurated in 2017. It's a great addition to our auditorium. Thanks to its 400 seats and great acoustics, it enables us for the first time to hold here chamber music concerts, orchestra rehearsals, and other programs.
Every time I stand in the foyer of the Zucker Hall, I'm amazed by the tall ceilings, by the clean lines, and by the 2 monumental historical works of art. The first one is by Bezalel Schatz, made of metal and tinted glass, originally commissioned by the orchestra for the old guest house.
The second is titled The Fugue, A 70-feet-long veil painting by artist Izhar Patkin, depicting images of musicians, and among them Huberman and Toscanini landing here on the seashore of Tel Aviv.
יצאו למקום ברוניסלב הוברמן, המנצח שטיינברג והקונסול משה שלוש.
Past, present, and future all come together in this breathtaking foyer.
And the grand finale is, of course, the Lowy Concert Hall. On this very stage, all of us performed for the first time auditioning for this orchestra behind the screen. It's amazing how this stressful moment evolved into a warm home.
Since March, the hall has been closed and the stage has been basically empty. We still meet to rehearse and to record for our digital concerts, but it's nothing compared to playing for you, our devoted audience.
We can't wait to perform for you again, embrace you with our music, and be embraced by your love for the Israel Philharmonic.